Right. We tend to give ourselves all the charity in the world, and we tend to withhold it from other people, especially our political opponents, right? We assume the worst of the people who we're already inclined to disagree with. And but those people can also have good days and bad days and be imperfect just as we are.
Nah, not those people.
Yeah, it's sometimes like we approach a conversation with a filter already on of or a way of how we already perceive them. And it just leads to more of an unhealthy conversation.
Well, on
And
this point too, this is why social media is so bad because when we're just looking at words, we don't have context or tone. So when we see someone we like, we assume the best of those words, assume the best tone, and it's exactly the opposite with someone we don't like, and we think, well, surely that person must have meant to be offensive or mean or dismissive. We have no idea, right? They're just a few words on a tweet or something, and we do a whole lot of non-rational, non-cognitive processing about the words we see and we fill in a lot of the gaps based on narratives and context that may or may not be correct.
Always have positive things to say when you're texting, but if you have hard discussions, stay away from anything that you have to type. Make the
Yeah,
phone
you
call,
you can
have
even
the
just
face to face. You got to have, you have to be able to understand the context that they're saying it in.
and you can adjust in real time too. I've had this experience where I've been texting with someone or emailing someone and I realize, oh, we've stumbled into something that is more tense than I realized. So just say, let's pick this conversation up in person, or can I give you a call? You can switch mediums without a big cost, and sometimes taking that extra step avoids a huge, massive argument or fight that would have been otherwise resolved.
For I find if I'm like sensing like I'm starting to feel that, oh, I'm getting there. It's like it's time for me to say time out, and I'm not going to write anything that can be misconstrued the other way. So yeah, change mediums. That's good.
the best comments I see on Facebook are, "Hey, can you send me a direct message and we can chat?" And it takes it away of the public where you feel like, or the other person may feel like you are embarrassing them or placing shame or guilt or whatever it is, and vice versa. So those are my favorite comments that I come across is, "Hey, just message me or call me and we can talk a little bit more."
And that's a good point because I think, for me, I think on social media or in public settings, there are some rare occasions where it is important for me, sometimes as a subject matter expert, to weigh the disagreement publicly, to say to the person who's just put something out there in the world, this is wrong and here's why. But most of the time, if it's just an interpersonal disagreement or someone didn't like my book or whatever it is, why in the world would we need to air that in front of everyone else? So let's just say, like, if this is a conversation worth having, let's have it between the two of us. This is true with relatives or anything else, right? It's why we don't need to throw out our disagreements on social media about every political issue. And most of us, including me, lack the expertise on most issues in the world. So the public doesn't need to see that ignorance or lack of expertise either.
We have to convince ourselves of that. We're all experts. Now wait a minute.
Yes, there does seem to be a lot of keyboard warriors, as we call them, and that are deemed experts in certain fields. And yeah, it's much better to usually have those type of conversations um, privately and just
Well, and
one on
for
one.
Christians especially, there's this sense in some circles that you have to sort of speak truth in the world, and that is just not true. You do not have to speak truth all the time, right? God is not calling you to be his spokesperson on every single issue under the sun. And so the idea that you have to, if you don't say something, you're being complicit, that's nonsense, right? We are such limited, fallen, frail human beings that we can't possibly have credible or competent opinions about most things in the world. So most of the time, probably the right end to discernment is silence.
They'll know we are Christians by the fact that we own the opposition, right?